Fire, not only a predecessor to our world, but also to our society. To be in its presence of warmth and light is not nearly as powerful as to be in control of its presence. Ever since our earliest encounters with this substance, we've wanted to know how to command its capabilities. We are extraordinary beings, you and I. The world as we know it has risen through its progression by the humans who came before us. As the dominant species to this planet, we have reached incredible heights, but not without cost. Our animals face population reductions, our ozone combats depletion, and our water works to purify its contaminants. The ways we have come to know have been regarded as unsustainable. An expiration date hasn't been set, but should there ever be? The dynamic of our society should not only lie in productivity, but also in sustainability. Because disregard for the latter could send us back to the dark.
You know, we humans started out in East Africa some hundreds of thousands of years ago and spread all over.
We Homo sapiens have come a long way from our natural roots. Some 200,000 years ago, we moved away from our place among the trees and migrated to the villages of the Stone Ages, which have transformed into the cities of modernity. Since then, we have earned a great understanding of our physical realm and the laws that govern us. So much so that we have learned to split an atom to release its immense energy. Now I understand that the atomic bomb may not be the most favorable example of human creation, but it certainly works well to represent our strength and power over our surroundings. We seem to have become blind to the things that allow us to lead the lives that we do. Before we can move forward, we must take a look back at all that we truly and deeply rely on.
With regard to sustainable development, that clearly is the wave of the future. I think people are much more environmentally conscious than they were years before, and I think people do take it very seriously. There's all this concern about what's my carbon footprint, what's my impact on the environment, and I do believe people value that. They see the damage that we have caused already, and they want to avoid that, and they want the future to be better for our children and grandchildren.
Water, the lifeblood to planet Earth, and arguably the most critical element to the bane of our existence. We drink it, we bathe in it, we wash our belongings with it, and we also pollute it. Oil spills, chemicals, toxins, plastics all litter our rivers, lakes, and oceans. Our water supply, which in turn pollutes the water cycle and furthermore pollutes the climate, affecting millions of plants, animals, and insects throughout the globe on different landscapes. How can we treat this liquid, which is so vital to our environment, so irresponsibly? The better question, how can we cleanse it?
Well, I think the habits of most folks, they really don't think about the environment sometimes when they're conducting their activities, whether it's at work or leisure. People litter, people discard things, people misuse the environment in lots of different ways. And so obviously I think sometimes that imposes cost on others, and obviously it's cost to society as a whole to clean that up and to fix our problems as we go.
Trees. These living skyscrapers of our jungles and forests are the natural air fresheners to this world. Unlike the plastic ones we set up in our living rooms every winter, their cells work like factories to produce the oxygen critical to the air we breathe. And unlike the green tree that hangs from your rearview mirror, they provide homes for millions of organisms on Earth. Trees are pretty important, yet potentially billions of them are cut down each year for manufacturing and agriculture, among other reasons. But despite the reason, the effects are still the same. Less trees. How are we to raise those who have fallen?
Cutting down trees, obviously that's important, but it would not be as important if we, were very good conservators in terms of you cut down a tree, you need to plant another one. Economists look at that as, those are renewable resources. And so the damage that we do to the planet through the misuse of renewable resources, in many ways we can correct by going back and fixing those problems. You cut down a forest, well, you plant another forest for the next generation.
Air. One never really appreciates its presence until they're forced to go without it. Although a majority of scientists have come to a consensus as to the truth of the existence of climate change, there still seems to be a large number of non-believers. It is, though, hard to deny the rapid rate at which our industrial methods have added large amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases to our atmosphere. Global warming has been relevant in the media since before I came into being, yet obstacles still block the road to a stronger ozone. Inhale the good, exhale the bad. We have the ability to adopt greener, more efficient means of energy. We must take the first breath.
The real problem, though, is when you have damage to resources that are not renewable. Clearly, the problem of petroleum, oil, all these carbon-based fuels and sources of energy, most of that cannot be replaced. And so we're going to have some major choices to make in the future in terms of how we generate our energy, and we need to find renewable ways to do that.
One of the most striking aspects of the view of the Earth from a few hundred kilometers up is how thin the atmosphere is. There's just this faint blue aura that surrounds the Earth.
It seems that we have poisoned the blood which flows to keep our beautiful blue planet alive. We have not only damaged the lungs it uses to breathe, but also the air that it must regulate. A number of other factors place burden upon Earth, but we cannot expect her to carry the weight on her own. It is our activities that have forced these conditions upon Mother Nature, and it must be our actions which turn the tides and lift the strain from her shoulders. The future is only as bright as we make it. It is up to us to keep the lights on.
You can have dozens of worlds that are complex, rich, environmentally diverse, and have life on only one of them. Life is rare. It is therefore something precious.